the first time the great hyperspace core was found. With it came the gift of interstellar travel, and the Outer Rim trade routes were established, uniting the galaxy in peace. Years passed before the second core was discovered on a desert planet. Pain and bloodshed flowed in its wake. But the exiles returned to their homeworld, Hiigara. A young woman led them across the galaxy, and it is she who will lead them again. Her name is Karen Sajet. This is the story of the end time. We know this because the third core has been found. Under the dark influence of this core, the Taidan have risen under a new leader, a Vagar warrior lord named Makan. He calls himself the Sedgwickar, the Chosen One. Many systems have already fallen under his shadow, and his eyes are set upon Hiigara. Deep inside the great derelict at Tanis, construction of a new mothership is underway. The pride of Hiigara. Once more, the exiles will face the coming darkness.
This is Fleet Command. Stand by for hyperspace core transfer.
Containment unit online. All power signatures in the green. Primary couplings released. Trajectory is good. The hyperspace core is away.
This is Tanis Control. We have visual contact with the core. Proceed with transfer.
Trajectory and alignment confirmed. Take it to 115 and initiate capture procedures. The mothership recognizes the core and confirms signal lock.
Fleet Command online. Mothership status report. Engineering online. Stand by to initiate main engine sequence. Main engines online. Engine test complete. All standard drives are operational. Navigation online. The mothership is standing by.
Setting drives to idle.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Homeworld 2.
This is Fleet Intelligence. Our task is to analyze sensor data and generate mission objectives.
Resource collector awaiting.
Before launching the mothership, we must conduct a series of trials to ensure all critical systems are operational. Throughout these trials, the mothership will be running with a minimal crew and will remain docked with Tanis. Once these trials are complete, we will launch the mothership and test the hyperspace core.
Salvage target acquired.
The first trial will test the resourcing system. A resource collector is standing by. Begin retrieval of resource containers at this location.
Way ahead of you. So yeah, anyways, welcome to my Let's Play of Homeworld 2. Homeworld 2 is a game, for those of you who don't know, it's a classic RTS game which lets you move in fully 3D environments, meaning that you're not stuck to a flat map that you're looking at from above. But you actually have ships that can move up and down.
Trial successful.
As well as moving.
We will now test the mothership's production capabilities. Begin construction of a fighter facility subsystem.
As well as moving on like a flat plane. We'll get a fighter facility up and running. So basically this first mission is just kind of a training mission, making sure that you're getting to grips with all the basic controls and the likes. Now, even though this game came out in 2003, I still consider this one of the most beautiful games ever made. I mean, look at it. Even though the graphics are not really up to modern day standards, you can see like some pretty low res textures going on here. I still think it looks just stunning, really. And also they're remastering it, this and Homeworld 1. And if there are any games that needed remastering,
fighter facility complete.
It's Homeworld 1 and 2.
Fighter facility subsystem complete. Engineering is online and ready for fighter production.
To test basic combat capabilities, construct an interceptor squadron.
Production underway.
There's also a third game in the series called Homeworld Cataclysm, which was kind of an expandalone, I think, to Homeworld 1. I have not actually played that one. I have the disc, I have the original disc, but I have not managed to get it working on modern day computers, and the last time I saw anybody play it was years ago, when I was still living with my parents, and my older brother would play it. Very much the same thing goes for Homeworld 1 and 2, even though I've completed each of those once before. Right now I just feel like
squadron complete.
Right now I just feel like getting through it once more.
Stand by to begin combat trials. Perimeter Station Chimera will assist by providing target drones. The drones are located here. Use the interceptors to destroy the target drones.
Locked on target. Show no mercy.
So changes from Homeworld 1 to 2. You don't have as much formation control, but you do have some limited control here. And also you build fighters and smaller craft. You build those in groups instead of separately. And also I feel like a lot of things have been streamlined, really. I think some people have referred to it as a bit of a dumbing down, but I don't really think so. I think it just removes a lot of the hassle, because I don't like micromanaging that much in my RTSs. I like focusing on the macro stuff, like the division of my forces and making sure I'm producing everything in the right order.
Attention Tanis Control. This is Perimeter Station Chimera. We have multiple unidentified units detected. Signal indicates Vager Bomber Strike Force. This is a scramble alert. All pilots to their stations.
Chimera base. This is Blue Leader. Enemy units locked in. Awaiting orders.
Tanis is under attack. All forces to combat alert. This is not a test. Interceptors have been launched from Chimera. The enemy must be eliminated. Order all interceptors to destroy the Vager bombers.
Now you might be wondering why I'm moving my interceptors out to the side, but I like kind of doing a turn in this direction and coming in right on their tails. Gives me a really, really nice and long opening run, as you can see here. And I can stay behind them for a lot longer, giving me many more shots of opportunity right in the opening right there. You can see I'm really nailing it. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, micromanagement. I don't like that much micromanagement in my games. That move is basically the only kind of micromanagement you'll see me doing in this. And the reason I don't like micromanagement is that these are trained fighter pilots. They shouldn't need me telling them what to do.
The station is offline. The Vager have breached the Tanis perimeter.
The mothership is under attack. We cannot stay here any longer. Emergency launch underway.
Ship under attack. Release crews stand by for emergency launch.
Roger that, Tanis.
Primary couplings released. She's looking good. Green line confirmed.
The mothership has cleared Tanis. We are away.
Multiple enemy reinforcements detected. Estimated time before contact, 2 minutes. Begin construction of bombers immediately to deal with this new threat. Bombers will be required to defend the mothership.
Right. So where was I?
Production underway.
Yeah, micromanagement. I don't like telling my fighter pilots what to do when they're in combat, because they're trained fighter pilots. I mean, so they should basically have a pretty good idea of how to fly their own craft. I just like giving them the orders of go here, go there, attack these things, attack those things. I guess that's why Homeworld is such a favorite series of mine, because it really does have a much slower pace. It's not as APM heavy as something like StarCraft and the likes. So you have time to think
Bomber
about
squadron complete. New
all of
construction
your
options available.
Ready.
all of your strategies, choices, and
Group 2 designated.
maneuvers. And as you can see, it takes a while to take down each craft, and it creates this very, very tense flow to the game. Because it can also get quite difficult, and that really is something I appreciate very much. Is like giving you the time to sit back and think about whether or not what you're doing is actually the right thing. And also observing this stuff, it just looks awesome. Also, in case you didn't play the first
Priority
game.
alert.
Oh, sorry.
The Vager are using hyperspace gates. If they are not destroyed, the enemy can deploy reinforcements through them. These gates must be destroyed.
I'll use my
Attack
bombers.
vector laid in.
My newly constructed bombers, much better at stationary targets,
Order
or
confirmed.
slower targets.
Target confirmed.
And meanwhile,
Group
I'll
one
use my
reporting.
fighters to take care of their fighters.
Attack vector laid in.
Perfect. Yeah, so where was I? Yes.
Reporting.
If you want to understand the story
Group
of
one.
Homeworld 2, you know there's an issue, because you can't just go through the previous two Homeworld games, Homeworld 1 and Homeworld Cataclysm, and think you'll be able to understand much of what's going on, because
Group 1 reporting.
I saw one reviewer reviewing Homeworld 2 saying that the game has a bad case of it explains fucking nothing.
Target
Sadly,
confirmed.
that is very true. And that's really sad, because the first Homeworld and Homeworld Cataclysm really did have pretty good stories. And so for Homeworld 2 to have kind of kind of vague story that gives you a lot of pieces but never really connects any dots whatsoever. It doesn't really explain what anything means. Really is quite sad. However, I do think that Homeworld 2 was actually an improvement on Homeworld 1, purely mechanically. And for what it's worth, the story sequences are still
destroyed.
Incredibly well presented.
Destroy all the remaining hyperspace gates.
I love the art style and the sound design as well. Holy shit. Yeah, that's another thing for the remastered version, especially for Homeworld 1. I remember Homeworld 1,
Group 1.
Playing it today, you really do see how much of a compromise the developers had to make in order to fit the game on a CD-ROM. Because they had to compress a lot of the audio files really badly, so they ended up sounding terribly compressed. With a modern release, which is going to be released in February. With a modern release, they're not really as constricted audio-wise, and they got the same audio director, Paul Ruskai, I think his name is, to remaster soundtrack and effects and everything. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm fanboying all over the place here. Coffee.
Standing by.
Yeah, because the soundtrack is just great. I mean, if you ever get the chance, try and sit down and listen to, especially the first Homeworld soundtrack. It's I think it's one of the absolute greatest soundtracks of any game ever, really.
Resources exhausted.
And apparently also Homeworld was supposed to be, now that we're on the subject of the development and everything, apparently Homeworld, when it was first developed back in 97 to 99, it was released in 99, it was supposed...
Long-range sensors have detected multiple enemy signals converging on Tanis.
1 second.
All ships initiate docking procedures and stand by for hyperspace.
The Vagar have arrived. Emergency hyperspace procedures initiated. Course set for the homeworld. The mothership must survive.
I guess I'll continue my story later. To be continued in Mission 2.
Tanis base has been destroyed. The Vagar have launched a massive invasion. Higaran outposts are falling all across the inner rim. The crew of the mothership is making an emergency departure, and planetary defense systems are standing by. Before we can mount a counterattack, we must rendezvous with the mothership's crew. We will exit hyperspace in the shadow of the Angel Moon. A rally point has been established at this location. Prepare for enemy contact.